Henry Cejudo breaks silence on his chaotic week, and Kamaru Usman kinda blames Cejudo for getting his belt stolen. It's been an absolutely wild stretch for the former double champ. In the span of just a few days, Henry confronted a hit-and-run driver and got his championship belt stolen. Henry went into detail, explaining that after a car crashed into his friend's house, the driver tried to flee the scene. Cejudo and the homeowner didn't let that slide. They acted fast, managing to detain one of the suspects until police showed up. The former champ said he literally grounded and restrained the person to prevent them from escaping. What made it worse was that this crash happened right after a block party filled with kids in the same area. The damage was devastating as per Cejudo, but that's not all. Henry got his championship belt stolen in the same week. As for the belt getting stolen, that's just salt in the wound. And Kamaru Usman had a take on the whole situation. He believes Henry's misfortune stems from being too public with his location, saying the champ might have unintentionally made himself a target. Here's how Henry and his producer described the story.
Oversharing in the sense to where, Henry, you let people know where you live. You said y'all interviewed all the neighbors. You got them an opportunity to be on camera. And yes, you were the forefront. You were the spokesman for all of this. And you let people know where you live. And fast forward to Mr. Dylan Rush is actually on your couch. Did you get robbed while Dylan was in there sleeping?
Well, let's bring him in, dude. Let's see if he could.
I was in there, so the studio is connected to his house, and the only entrance is from the outside, so like you can't enter from Henry's house. So it was the first time I've slept there in maybe 4 months, coincidentally, and I didn't tell Henry I was sleeping there. So when I said bye to Henry, I walk out of his house, I go into the studio, and because I hadn't told him that I was sleeping there, when I saw someone near the door, I assumed it was Henry, and I didn't say anything in the moment. I'm half asleep. I don't even know if I'm dreaming, what's going on, but I remember constantly thinking, I'm about to say, "What's up, Henry?"
Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis ran into each other just hours before UFC 314, and things got tense. Izzy was in town to support his close teammate Alex Volkanovski, who's set to take on Diego Lopes tonight. Dricus was there too, given the magnitude of the event, but all eyes quickly shifted to the unexpected face-to-face between these two heated rivals. They broke their silence on the alleged altercation that took place earlier today.
I said, when we see again, I'll try and kill you. And he goes, I'll try and kill you too. I'm glad I had a good day. And I don't like street fights. I don't like confrontation, but if you bring the problem, then I'm gonna solve the problem.
You know, I don't know what he was saying. I'm not here to say anything to him. You know, it's he will never get what he had again. You know, right now he's talking about so much outside of the sport instead of talking about what's going on in the sport that, you know, is I don't know.
The last time they shared the octagon, it was a competitive fight until Dricus flipped the switch and scored a finish that shocked the world. Since then, Adesanya has suffered multiple setbacks and even admitted he may never get back what he once had. But in that backstage moment, with emotions running high, Izzy couldn't hold it back. The former champ let his character take over and told Dricus to his face that he'll kill him in the rematch. The rivalry's far from over. Izzy also gave his predictions for Volk's upcoming title fight against Diego tonight. Unsurprisingly, Izzy is picking his teammate Volk for the win. Here's how he broke down the fight.
Volk, his distance management, his footwork is going to be what protects him in the early rounds in this fight. So just the first round, second round, he might have to weather the storm, but I think he can also bring the storm in the second round. I think in the first round, he can bring the storm, but then not over commit, because that's what Diego wants. He wants the firefight. He wants to draw Volk into a firefight so he can do his fucking flurries and whatnot. And Volk, it's not the first, it's not the second or the third shot. It's the fourth, fifth, and sixth that you have to watch out for, because you defend, you take care of stuff, but
second phase, third phase.
Yeah, second phase, the third phase, or the fourth, fifth, and sixth shots in the combo. Those are the dangerous ones.
Izzy also thinks Alex might use his wrestling against Diego Lopes, though he personally wouldn't recommend it. Now, Volkanovski's wrestling doesn't get talked about enough. People remember the striking, the pace, the cardio, but this guy's a tank with a low center of gravity and incredible balance. Just ask Islam Makhachev. In both their fights, Islam had to work hard to get Volk down and keep him there. And we're talking about arguably the best grappler in the entire UFC. Volk's takedown defense, scrambling, and ability to get back to his feet are top tier. That said, Diego Lopes isn't your average jiu-jitsu guy. The man is slick off his back and dangerous in every every transition. He nearly caught Movsar Evloev in a couple of submissions, and he's been running through opponents ever since. So even though Volk can wrestle, going to the ground with Lopes is like walking into a spider web. You might get out, but not without a struggle. Michael Chandler fires back at critics who claim the fire just isn't there anymore. After years of going through absolute wars in the cage, some believe Chandler's best days are behind him. And with rising star Paddy Pimblett now standing across from him, a number of fans and pundits are even picking Paddy to get the upset. But Chandler isn't buying any of it. He says this narrative is nothing new. People have counted him out before, and every single time when his back is against the wall, that's when he performs at his absolute best. He reminded everyone that he's been here before, and that he's showing up in the same locked-in mindset that produced his devastating knockout of Tony Ferguson. For Chandler, this isn't just another fight, it's a proving ground, a moment to silence the doubters and show that he's still got it, still belongs in the rotation with the very top of the lightweight division. And for Paddy, this is massive. It could be the breakthrough win that pushes him from popular prospect to legitimate title contender. So while the critics talk, Chandler stays focused. He knows this is a pivotal fight for both guys, and he plans to leave no doubts when the cage door closes.
I've gone out there to try to win every single fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think it is. And my back's been up against the wall a couple times. So UFC debut, knocked out Dan Hooker. Yeah. Then I'm on this big run, and it's a UFC title fight, and there's really not a lot to lose, and I lose that one. But then I come back, and I'm backs up against the wall against Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
Fight
highlight.
KO of the year, SportsCenter #1 on SportsCenter Top 10. Like, these kinds of things happen. So something wells up inside me when my back is up against the wall, and I think this is one of those fights. So that's why you got to buy the pay-per-view. You got to show up, and I will have people on the edge of their seats, if not standing up, because that's what I always do every single time I step into the octagon. I don't know, I look at the sport differently in the sense where, like I keep saying, it's not Paddy Pimblett, it's a head, it's a torso, 2 arms and 2 legs, and there's a soul in front of me, and I see targets in front of me, and I get after it. So I mean, yeah, I agree. There's implications, negative implications, but there's also some very good positive implications, right? This is a big fight, people's main event.
What do you think about this fight? Fight fans? Can Paddy run through the battle-tested veteran in Chandler and introduce himself to the lightweight's top 5? Or will Chandler derail the hype train and get back into the title picture himself? Leave your comments below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.